Welcome to ValueVest Daily, where we analyze the best value and momentum investment opportunities. Today, we're diving into a massive strategic shift happening right now in the United States. And no, we're not talking about just another software app. We're talking about the new frontier, physical robotics. The U.S. is making a huge pivot, treating robotics not just as cool tech, but as a critical national priority. So what's the government's game plan? And more importantly for us, which companies are set to win this high-stakes race? Let's break it down.
And when I say race, well, this chart right here shows you just how far behind the US is at the starting line. Look at these numbers. By 2023, China had installed a jaw-dropping 1.8 million industrial robots. The US, just 450,000. Folks, that is a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Now, this isn't just a statistic. It's a wake-up call. It represents a massive gap in manufacturing power and supply chain independence. Washington is finally realizing they are falling behind, and they're about to do something about it.
So that brings us to the multi-billion-dollar question for us as investors. How is the U.S. planning to fight back? The answer isn't just hoping a few startups in a garage figure it out. No, we're talking about a coordinated, top-down national strategy, a deliberate plan to pour money and resources into building an entire robotics ecosystem right here at home. So let's take a look at the playbook. The government's response is something called the National Robotics Strategy. You can think of this as the official game plan, the roadmap for America's comeback in this global robot war.
The strategy is built on 6 key pillars. It's a really smart mix of things, right? You've got top-down coordination, like a new central government office to lead the charge, and you have bottom-up incentives, like tax breaks to get private companies to invest their own money. The government even plans to become the #1 customer, using federal agencies to place huge orders for advanced robotics. It's a full-court press designed to tackle this problem from every single angle.
And you know they're serious when you see the money they're putting behind it. The projected federal funding for robotics in 2025 is a staggering $2.3 billion. To put that in perspective, that's double the funding from 2024. This isn't just some policy paper. This is a massive injection of capital designed to supercharge the entire industry. This is the kind of tailwind we look for.
Okay, so all this government action is great, but where does the rubber, or in this case, the robot, meet the road? Let's dive into 5 specific U.S. companies on the front line, each one uniquely positioned to ride this new wave of investment and national support.
First up, a name you definitely know, but maybe not for this reason. We're talking about Tesla. And they're thinking way, way beyond cars with their incredibly ambitious humanoid robot project. The star of the show here is Optimus, their humanoid robot designed to do all the dull, dirty, and dangerous jobs humans don't want to do. Now, from an investor's standpoint, look at this number. Analysts are projecting a 25% compound annual growth rate for the company's revenue. That's its average annual growth, and a huge part of that future growth story is expected to come from robotics.
So how does this new government strategy directly benefit a giant like Tesla? Well, first off, R&D tax credits could slash the enormous costs of scaling up Optimus production. Then you've got the government acting as a lead adopter, which could mean massive contracts from agencies like the Department of Defense. And finally, those new innovation hubs will help Tesla build a more secure American-based supply chain.
Next up, let's look at a company solving a problem we all know too well, that last expensive mile of delivery. Meet SERV Robotics, which is deploying fleets of these cool little autonomous sidewalk delivery bots.
Their focus is very specific, but their potential growth is absolutely explosive. The analysis we're looking at projects a mind-boggling 150% revenue CAGR for SERV. A 150% average annual growth rate is just incredible, and it marks them as a key player to watch in the world of local automation.
This national strategy seems almost tailor-made for a company like SERV. Just imagine the U.S. Postal Service running pilot programs with these bots. That's exactly what a lead adopter mandate could do. And on the commercial side, tax incentives could make it a no-brainer for small businesses, your local pizza shop or pharmacy, to adopt their service, which would just blow their market wide open. Okay, from the sidewalk, let's go inside to the service counter. Rich Tech Robotics is all about automating the service and hospitality industries. We're talking robot baristas, retail assistants, you name it.
And according to the source material, Rich Tech is another potential rocket ship with a projected 100% revenue CAGR. They're targeting a huge piece of the economy, service and hospitality, that has always been really tough to automate. And that, right there, spells a massive opportunity. And again, you can see exactly how the national strategy gives them a powerful tailwind.
A new federal robotics commission that could streamline safety certifications and get their bots into businesses faster. Tax credits that'll make it much easier for hotels and restaurants to sign on the dotted line. And crucially, those government training programs will create the skilled workers needed to operate and maintain this whole new ecosystem.
All right, let's switch gears to a completely different, high-tech field, medicine. PROCEPT Biorobotics is a leader in surgical robotics, a critical area that's advancing incredibly fast. Their core product is the aquablation system, which uses a heat-free, robotically guided water jet for surgery. It's a super specialized, high-value field, and the numbers show why it's so promising. A projected 45% revenue CAGR. That signals really strong, steady growth in a critical medical sector that isn't going anywhere. The national strategy is a huge deal for a company like this. Those regional hubs, they will help build a resilient domestic supply chain for critical medical devices, something we learned was vital. R&D credits directly fuel the development of their next-generation systems. And of course, the big prize is potential adoption by federal healthcare systems like the VA. Finally, let's talk about one of the foundational players of the entire industry, Teradyne. They are a major force in industrial automation, especially in what are called cobots, which are collaborative robots designed to work right alongside humans.
Now, unlike some of the high flyers we've talked about, Teradyne is an established leader. Their projected 13% CAGR isn't about explosive speculative growth, it's about steady, foundational importance. You can think of their technology as a vital ingredient needed to rebuild America's entire manufacturing base.
And this is where that national security angle really comes into sharp focus. Department of Defense mandates could see Teradyne's cobots integrated directly into building our next generation of defense hardware. Their technology is absolutely central to the goal of reshoring, bringing those critical manufacturing jobs and industries back to the U.S. and securing our industrial base.
And that really hammers home the core takeaway from this whole strategic shift. Robotics is no longer just a cool science project. It's being elevated to the level of a national security imperative, something that is seen as absolutely fundamental to the country's economic and military future. And when that happens, the money follows.
Now, as we've looked at some really exciting companies and projections, it's very important that I state this clearly. This content is for informational purposes only. It is not financial advice. We're here to explain a major policy shift and its potential impact so you can be better informed.
So we'll leave you with this final thought. As this national push accelerates robotics into every corner of our economy, the big question is, what does it mean for the future of our investments and our portfolios? A shift this big is a conversation that is only just beginning, and you want to be on the right side of it. Please subscribe, like, and share ValueVest Daily for daily learning opportunities before you put your money to work. And one more thing, please put in a comment if you want us to deep dive into any of these specific companies or other high potential opportunities you're seeing out there. Thanks for watching.